Hi, welcome to Noms. Today we're going to make soft gingerbread cookies. My wife really loves the gingerbread Starbucks drinks, but they haven't had them a couple of years, so I decided to make some gingerbread cookies for her. But I don't really like the crispiness of gingerbread cookies, so I found a recipe online that I'll link to below that made some really delicious soft gingerbread cookies. It's a great recipe, and I hope you will like it. First two ingredients we're going to add in is our cup of sugar and a half cup of unsalted butter. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, but a half cup seems to work just fine. We're going to pop it on the electric mixer. So we're going to stop the mixer here. You can see it started to line the sides here, and it's got a nice fluffy texture to it, so it should be pretty good there. Now that we have the consistency that we want from the butter and sugar, which you can see again here, it's kind of nice against the side and nice and fluffy, we're going to add a quarter cup of molasses and a single large egg. We're going to pop the bowl back on the electric mixer, and we're just going to mix until it's really well blended together. Now it's mixed really nicely together, so we'll stop blending for a second. While the other ingredients are mixing in the mixer, we're going to combine 2.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The original recipe calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but when I made these before, they were a little salty, so we pulled the amount back a little bit, and it seems to work really well. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then finally 1 teaspoon of freshly shredded ginger. The recipe calls for between a 1/2 teaspoon up to 2 teaspoons to taste. 1 teaspoon seems to work pretty well for the flavor. Then we're going to grab our whisk and we're going to mix these all together. And we're just going to whisk until they all seem to mix pretty well together. This already smells pretty amazing. And now that all of our wet ingredients are mixed together nicely, we're going to add in our dry ingredients that we were just hand whisking earlier. And then mix until all the ingredients are together. Now it's looking nice and mixed together. It's a little crumbly in the middle here, but you can see it's really coating all on the sides of the bowl. So that's going to scoop out really nicely. It's nice and moist, and it'll form balls pretty easily. Now if you watch my sausage ball video, you know that I like to use the ice cream scooper to scoop out the ingredients to get ready to bake. You can see even though it's crumbly, it sticks together pretty well. Set that down, leaving a couple inches on either side. We get about 8 on a pan here. So you should be able to get about 16 cookies out of this recipe. I was a little over enthusiastic with my first baking pan, so you can see I was 1 short, so we'll get 15. All right, now we're going to pop our pans of cookies in the stove. Okay, it's been 12 minutes, so we're gonna pop the cookies out. Steaming up the camera there for a second. Look and smell delicious. Now we're gonna let these sit for another 10 minutes to cool off. Okay, I said I was gonna wait 10 minutes and let these cool off, but I can't resist some of these little crispies. That's yummy. It's been another 10 minutes, so we're going to transfer the cookies to the cooling rack for the final 10 minutes. The hardest part of this recipe is waiting to enjoy the cookies for sure. The last 10 minutes is up, so our wait is over. We're going to go ahead and plate these up on our holiday plates. Okay, finally get to try one of these out. These are really good. They're crispy on the outside, but really nice and soft on the inside, and they just have great flavor. It's probably a little bit bigger than the recipe intends, but they're fantastic. So if you try these at home, I think you'll be really satisfied with them, and hope you have a happy holiday.